G'day gang, Ed and Simo here, and we're talking to you today about
Time.
time, my greatest enemy.
Is it? Yeah. Are you a Doctor Who fan?
No, I've never been a Doctor Who fan.
Yeah, I'm just putting together the final touches of a business TARDIS, but before that comes into play, I thought we'd just have a look at something a bit more practical to getting some time back on your side.
So I'm Simo, this is Ed, and you're watching the Fast Line Track Growth Show, where we talk all things karting and business.
Cool.
The time management, eh?
Yeah, I don't like the phrase time management,
No,
and I'll tell you for why.
because you can't manage time.
Exactly. What can you manage?
Energy.
There you go. See? We're on the same page. So time management's a little bit of a fallacy. I got people shouting now at the video going, Ivy Lee method, don't you know? Which is a really great book, by the way, well worth a read. No, we don't manage time, we manage energy. So I think a good friend of mine recently pointed out on social media, so it must be true. Somebody said, I haven't done that thing that you told me about, which would make them a lot of money, this person who was talking with, because I've been too busy. He replied, quite rightly, that's bullshit. You just decided your priorities.
Yeah,
And he said,
that's exactly it.
you didn't prioritise the fact that this money-making opportunity would be more than anything else you've got on your plate. So he said, so don't worry about it. I'm fine. I was like, ooh, harsh, but yeah, so accurate. So I'm just not a fan of time management in terms of the phrase.
Yeah.
Focus and energy management is perhaps what we should call it. FEM.
Fem.
Yes. So now we know it's all about focus and energy. Well, the next question starts to come together, which is, well, what should I focus on? Which is absolutely right. So we're going to make this super easy today, because just a few questions to go through, which will help you work out what to focus on first of all. We'll give you some hints and clues. It's not prescriptive, but it's a really valuable exercise to go through. So the first question is, what do you do when you're not working?
That is a very good question.
Well, it is.
Sleep.
Now this is interesting. You see, there will be people that just go work, sleep, sleep because they're overworked at the moment or in overwhelm, and away they go. Do you know what really makes people happy? There's a couple of things in the top two that really make people happy. What do you think they are?
Relationships.
Friends and family and relationships, yeah, is one of them. And the other one is?
Security.
Sleep.
Sleep. Oh, okay.
Now, if you're not getting enough sleep, you'll never be happy. And I've just discovered this recently. So it's all moving forward at a pace. All the science, the neuroscience, I think just in the last year or two, they've just come out to explain that sleep is a major asset for anybody.
It's a superpower.
It really is. And I've spoken about this before, but now I've got the science to back it up, so it must be true. But yeah, sleep. So what do you do? What do you like to do when you're not working? Or what do you do when you're not working? Sleep. Cool. Excellent. Is it really good quality sleep? Are you getting like a head? Do you wake up refreshed? It's not about time necessarily. It's about waking up refreshed and going like, I've had a good night's sleep. And whether that's 3, 6, 9 hours, you've got to wake up going, that's fantastic. And then you've got to be sustained going forward. So it's the energy that you've got. Again, there's that word, energy in there. But yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up.
I mean, it's interesting. We had a conversation about energy levels, and you pinged out this little bit of information about your sleep patterns are in 1.5 hours, 1.5 hours.
They are.
And I've noticed that it is so true. It's sort of like if I go to bed and I was doing this. I've done this regularly lately. I'm going to bed at like 10.
Cool.
And I'm waking up at 6.
Awesome. So that's 8 hours, but you're taking a bit of time to like go to drop off to sleep.
No. This is it.
That's about right.
Yeah.
If you get to bed and you go straight to sleep, that's a bit of a problem. If it takes you like half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour to go to sleep, that is perfect. And also, I might as well just put it in here as it's in there, but if you go to bed at 10, there's a special enzyme, I think it's an enzyme that gets created by your body around about midnight, but you've got to be asleep for it to be created. It takes a couple of hours for it to kick in. You need to not have eaten, ideally, a couple of hours before you get to bed. So have eaten by 8 o'clock and earlier if you can. And then, if you get to sleep by 10, there's a special enzyme that helps your body recover. better digestion, I think it is, but it gives you more nutrients out of your food. But there you go, sleep is a real superpower. We should do a whole video on sleep.
And put our audience to sleep.
Well, yes, with a bit of luck. But that would be one of the least watched videos that we do, and that's saying something. But it would be the one video that would make such a massive difference to your business if you could get your sleep and energy under control. Anyway, we digress. But valuable stuff. So, what do you do when you're not working? This is the question. So you just answer that. Now you've got to be really honest with all of this stuff. So you just write down. And again, this isn't a nod-along exercise. You have to get the pen and paper, and you do need pen and paper, by the way, not a computer. So write it down. What do you do when you're not working? And just answer that question as it stands.
The next one is if you had more free time, what would you like to spend it doing?
Yes. So now this is where you get to blue sky thinking, into like stuff that you really want to get into or back into, probably.
Yeah.
People tend to have hobbies that lapse when they get into business because they go, oh, I used to do that. Oh, I really liked watching my favourite football team, or what, you stopped.
Well, I really like stamp collecting.
Good.
Not.
It's a valuable asset. There'll be people out there going, what's wrong with stamp collecting? We're going to get letters in there. There'll be good old-fashioned written letters with a stamp on it.
But to be fair, I do have a stamp collection.
Do you?
From when I was a kid.
Really? Cool.
I've got one from all over the place. Should dust it off. It's probably worth a fortune.
Yeah, you could probably retire already. But yes, so many times business owners, they let their hobbies just stop for some reason, and I just don't get it. I sit down and you see them, quite often I'm dealing with business owners who are in a state of overwhelm when I meet them. You sit down and then you ask them a question, what would you do if you had more free time? Oh, do you know, and they talk like this all the time, and then suddenly you ask them what they're doing with more free time, they go, oh, I used to go fly fishing. And you're like, whoa, where's this energy level just come from? Oh, right, and when was the last time you went fly fishing? Oh, I haven't done it for... And you're like, right, so whatever you want to do in your free time, just spend some time. This is, by the way, this is an exercise to spend quite a bit of time on. So spend some time working out what you want to do in your free time.
Next one.
How is your work-life balance? Be honest.
Yeah, you've got to be honest.
You are, as a business owner, you're going to cheat on this one out of all the questions that we're about to give to you.
Always.
It's just terrible, isn't it?
And Flitz too. I mean, you know, asked me that question 12 months ago. I just said, yeah, no, I'm fairly happy with my work-life balance at the moment. No, shit.
Is it?
Yeah, there's just some things in the business that I'm trying to push through. So I am
That's cool.
burning the midnight oil.
See, now this is great because, but you've got an idea of how long that's going to last. Right? So you can sprint through that. Right, and then there's an end, and when it ends, you'll get back into because you've got that awareness because you've done this as an exercise, right? And that's the point. What happens? Most people work-life balance. They go and have a sprint. They might go and make a bit of money, or something happens that's positive in the business. They go, oh right, well I feel okay. I'm going to sprint a bit more, and what they end up doing is sprinting a marathon with no end in sight. And of course, the energy levels are going down and down and down and down. And you're like, yeah, because I can do this, and I'm a business owner, and I'm a superhero. And you're like, you're kidding yourself, and also you're upsetting your family, and you're going to upset all your employees at some point. That is just not going to end well. Yeah. So be really blunt and honest about how your work-life balance is. If you can't do that, because I'd be really bad at this. Ask somebody that has a vested interest in how your work-life balance is. Like
your significant other.
Or your kid.
Yeah. You might get a brutally honest answer.
Well, that is exactly what we're looking for. Yeah. So I'm not saying you'll have all the answers, but I mean, what if you went and picked them up from school one day a week and you did it without fail? And you spent like one afternoon a week with them? Like, would that make a difference? So go and get a brutal answer from your kid.
That brought back a memory.
We should have an outtake video where we just sit there mopping tears on it.
One time my father was meant to pick me up.
Okay. I hope you're listening to this, Mr. Heap Senior.
2 or 3 hours after he didn't arrive.
Okay, you thought he's not coming.
The school's called my mother, and she's going, well, Terry's meant to pick him up.
Oh.
And she had to drive all the way from home to pick me up. And now home was about 45 minutes, an hour drive.
Oh man. It could have been worse. Could have rang you up and then gone, you meant to pick up Simon from school? He'd be like, Simon.
Hey, Simon.
Oh yeah, I've got another one, haven't I? Yes. Right, I'll be with you.
Number 4. What are the tasks you're doing that could be done by someone else?
Yeah,
and yeah, okay, nobody's going to do the tasks like you're going to do them, but if they're done well enough, sometimes well enough is good enough.
Yeah, so the general rule here, if there's somebody that can do the task well enough, then you've got to really look long and hard around why you're doing that task. Right? The other point is, there's only one accountant I know who owns a go-kart track, right? Globally. Right? So he's probably the only person that should be doing his own books.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're doing your own bloody accounts or doing something like that, what are you doing in your own finances? Get somebody who's better at it and faster at it, because you're probably sitting there trying to put bloody receipts into some accounting system somewhere, far slower than they can. Wondering what P&L column to put it into.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Whereas you give it to somebody who does this for a living, like, you're probably sitting there going, I spend 6 hours a month pulling all the receipts together to put it all together for a nice tax return, and you're just looking at them thinking, what? But if I give it to a really good bookkeeper, they're probably going to do it in 2. So you're probably thinking, 6 hours, I don't know what they cost, but 25, 30 an hour. Oh, it's going to be a couple of $100 or pounds to go and get that sorted. I might as well just do it myself, save myself $200, but it's not.
No.
What you've done actually is you've saved yourself 6 hours, but you've also only got to pay for 2 because they're better at it than you are and faster. So what are you doing that somebody else should be doing? I go to accounts because that is one of them.
But when I went through and did this, and if it was something, you look at something like that, and you'd ask me, right, how long does it take to do your own books? Mm-hmm. It's taken me 3 hours. Not that I do my own books, but a question like that. And then you asked me a similar question as like, well, what's the value of time? I don't know what the value of my time was. And you said, well, if the 3 hours that you spent on your books, if you picked up that phone and rang customers for those 3 hours, how much money could you generate?
Yeah. I think you had a fairly precise figure. Oh, painful, eh? But that's great.
Because it was sort of like, well, I reckon I can generate 5, maybe 10 grand.
Yeah. And instead, you were stuck doing a task that you don't particularly enjoy.
Which, that 5 to 10 grand would have more than covered the cost of the book. So
yeah. And I know you'd rather be speaking to customers anyway, rather than like sitting in your own books.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Which goes on to the next point.
It's almost like these questions
I almost planned it.
What are your highest return activities? This is a biggie. If you're really good at business ownership, you're working on your business, and that stuff brings in the greatest rewards. Let's go for the one that everybody goes for, but like a marketing campaign, for example.
Yeah.
If you developed a really good marketing campaign, that could generate a heck of a lot of business for your track. So what are your highest return activities? You might not be good at marketing. You might be great at, speaking to corporates and getting them to come and choose your track, so more of a sales element rather than marketing. You might be the accountant who's gone into the karting industry, in which case get back into your books and then, sack off all your accounting costs.
I think my highest return activity is talking to customers. Right, sourcing new products and marketing.
Yeah.
However, recently it's changed.
Has it?
Yeah.
What's new?
Well, the last videos we talked about, those 3 pillars of success.
Yeah.
I've been spending a lot of time building value into the business.
Okay.
So cool. Writing all the processes and procedures, because we're hitting that unlucky number 13.
Yeah.
and we're just sort of nudging over and under it, back and forth, and I know that we can get better at providing our services and servicing our customers if I go
past the 13th head count.
Past the 13th thing, but if I document it all.
Yeah.
And you know, this is what perfect customer service looks like. This is what the ideal customer looks like. This is how you do whatever. How you.
This is why people should buy from us. This is what happens when this is where you get an answer for this really quickly. This is the way to go and deal with something that. So that just speeds all the training process up.
Yeah.
Gets them involved more. Gets a faster return on investment, and that extra return on investment can help push through that 13th head count, which is just a dangerous area to be hovering.
Yeah.
Get up to like 15 and you're safe again. And it'll go in peaks and troughs. But anyway.
The next one, we bang on about all this all the time. Number 6.
Yeah.
You know, how do you split your time working in your business and on your business?
Cool. So difference between on and in, just in case?
Working in your business is doing the day-to-day activities just to keep the business running.
Yeah. So contractually fulfilling what you've promised your customer to do is in.
Yeah. So for me, it would be typing orders into the order system or packing boxes out in the warehouse and sending them to the couriers.
Yeah.
Whereas working on your business, you're working on improving your business for growth, for profitability.
Yeah. It's the stuff that moves you forward.
Yeah.
It moves the business forward. In it is just, I'm looking after a customer, so they've asked me to deliver something, usually for a sum of money. I'm going to make sure I deliver it. That's in it. So you're stuck doing the stuff you contractually got to do. On it is let's go and create something new and push the business forward.
Let's come up with a new product. Let's do a new marketing campaign.
Yeah. Let's understand our customer better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's write our processes and procedures so everyone knows what to do.
Yeah. Let's be a better leader. Look at leadership qualities.
Train your staff.
Absolutely, that's all. Or not so much training the stuff because that's in, but developing the training program is on. Good example there.
Yeah.
Difference between on and in.
Yeah. No, quite correct.
Hey, excellent.
But I find you've got to deliver the training at least once or twice before you hand it on.
Well, and also, don't you notice when you're delivering training, you suddenly understand something? Do you know what I mean? It's only at the point where you go, hang on, I thought I had this. And now I've got to explain it to somebody else, which is why it's a really cool idea to get your staff to train each other, be involved in that process, but get them to present back. Because then they go, that's when they come up to you and they ask you the questions they thought they already understood, but never asked you during the training session.
I mean, I like doing it because I find the holes in it.
Well, the training, or writing it.
No.
Delivering it,
yeah. You just find the holes that you go, oh, I forgot that. It's because it's all in your head.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you're on autopilot when you do it.
Yeah.
And you've got to break down those steps.
That's it.
Anyway, we digress. So number 7.
Yeah, which is it's only 7 questions. This is the last question that you ask yourself. What changes do you need to make to bring your work-life balance to where you need it to be? Which is tough. I've given you one example earlier. You speak to your kid and they go, I just want to see you more often. I want to see you every day when I finish school. That's probably not going to happen. It might, but probably not. Well, but how about I commit to 1 day a week where we sit down as a family and just spend some time together? That'd be really cool. So what needs to happen? I need to tell my staff and I need to organise my stuff so that I leave the office at 2:30 and I go and pick up my boy and off we go.
Too true.
Too true. So there's a list of 7 questions. Need to answer those first of all.
Yeah. So why don't you guys sit there and spend the next week answering those questions, and we will come back next week and tell you what to do with them.
Yes, that'd be awesome. We've got something really useful to share with you in the next video.
All right. It's goodbye from me.
Cheerio from me.
And we'll see you next week.